मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भये अरिहंतादि महान करि मंगल करि हो महा ग्रंथ करन को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज। I'm making you a host. Yes. So we were on to Moksha Marg Prakashak Ji Granth, 8th chapter. Okay. Nature of sermons. The sermons as preached by our Tirthankar, that is divided into 4 kinds of exposition. Okay. And the name of the 4 expositions are Pratmaniyog, exposition on stories and biographies. Then we have Karnaniyog, exposition on technical matters. Then we have Charnan Yog, exposition on conducts and ethics. And then we have Dravyan Yog, exposition on substances or metaphysics. Okay. So each exposition has its own unique style of presentation. Okay. Unless and until we don't know that style, we will not be able to get the exact interpretation of the text. Okay. So it is very necessary for us to know the style, the methodology of each kind of exposition. Okay. So we did discuss the last week the purpose of each exposition, and now we are moving on to page number 386. The methodology of exposition in Anuyog. Yeah, this is the page where we need to start from. So we will see the methodology of exposition in each Anuyog one by one. Okay. So first of all is Pratman Yog. In this we have 4 points, and I'll just mark the points and then we will read. So 4 points. The first one starts from the beginning itself. In Pratman Yog, whatever main stories, that is 1A. Then in the next page, further the relevant stories. Okay, that is 1B. Then we have down the line, further in Pratmanuyog 2A, next paragraph, and as someone firmly 2B. Okay, then next page, last paragraph 3A. Further in Pratmanuyog, if someone is found to be observing one particular conventional form, that is 3A. Then the next paragraph in the next page, further on attaining knowledge of one part, 3B. Then next paragraph 3C, further if someone observes. Then the next paragraph 3D, further one who accepts Munilinga. Then the next page 4A, further in Pratman Yog. Next paragraph, further 4B. Next 4C, further the king Vajra Karan. Then 4D, further for the sake of getting a son. Okay. So here we end the methodology of exposition in Pratmanuyog. Okay. So now we will take it up one by one. So we'll start with the first point. Okay. In Pratmanuyog, whatever main stories are. So now we are going to understand the methodology of exposition in Pratmanuyog, the methodology of the presentation of Pratmanuyog, how it depicts. Okay. So that is very important for us. So page number 386. We are in 7th chapter now. Move, yeah, this one. 386. Yeah. Yes. The methodology of exposition in Pratma no Yoga. So Sasikala ji, you can read. Are you there?
I'm here. I was in mute.
Okay.
I was in mute. Okay. The 1 minute. I'll make it too big. Methodology of exposition in anuyogas. Now the methodology of exposition found in these anuyogas is being described. In Prathamana Yoga, whatever main stories are the same or
Can you make it bigger slightly, Aditi?
yeah, are described as they are, and in them,
Yes, thank you.
1 minute. And yes, sir. And in them, 1 minute. I missed that. 1 minute. And in them, the relevant expositions pertaining to the topic under discussion are also given. Some are described as it is, and some are given according to the thoughts of the author of the book, but the purpose is not changed. For example, on the auspicious occasions of the Titankara, Devas, the Indras, chief gods of heaven, came to celebrate the function. So this story is true, and the Indras offered invocation to them, invo- invocation to them, which is described in this Anyoga. Although the Indras offered innovation in different words, and here in Prathaman Yoga, the author has described it in some other words, but the purpose of invocation is not changed. Further, some conversation took place between some persons. There the words uttered were different, whereas here the author has used some other words, but the same purpose is maintained. And the names of town, forests, battlefields, and etc. used here are the same, but maintaining the same purpose. The description is found in less or more words. Other descriptions should be also be known likewise. Further, the relevant stories also written by the authors as per their own thoughts. For example, in Dharma Pariksha, the story of the stupid fellows is found. There is no such rule that the same story was narrated by the Manovega, but some tale fostering stupidity was narrated. So they have supported the same purpose. Similarly, one should know elsewhere also. Here, someone may say, untrue statements are not possible in Jain Shastras. Answer: the that which fosters different purpose is called untrue. For example, someone tells a person that you should say so. He did not speak in the same words, but spoke with the same purpose. Therefore, he is called a liar. If the rule be that the same words be used, then if someone has contemplated on renunciation in various ways, describing all that, would increase the volume of the book, and if nothing is written about it, then its concept will not be clear. Therefore, in the context of renunciation, the authors will write descriptions fostering renunciation only in less or more words as per their thoughts, but will not write anything fostering passions. Here, the purpose is not changed. Therefore, it is not untrue. In the same way, one should know elsewhere also. Further in Pratham.
Stop.
Okay. Sir, 1 minute. Before going that Manovega, you explain while coming that what is it?
Yeah. Manoveg is the chief protagonist of that story. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a character in that
Story.
Dharma Pariksha book. Okay. And
Okay.
it is being said that this book is such a nice one. Even those who don't believe in religion start believing in religion after they read this story of Dharma Pariksha.
Okay. I didn't know that story. That's why.
Yeah.
Thank
you. So in Pratman Yoga, the words may not be the same, the dialogues may not be the same, but the purpose remains unchanged. Okay, that you have to understand. So in Pratma Yoga, there is a way of depicting the stories and presenting the facts Having said that, the stories does not change, the facts does not change, the purpose does not change, but the words may change. Okay. So example, on the occasion of the Tirthankar, Devas, the Indras, chief of gods, came to celebrate the function. So this story is true, and the Indras offered invocation. Invocation means stuti, prayer. Okay. So invocation was offered by Indras to the god, and the words may change. Okay, but the purpose of invocation remains the same. Similarly, in Dharma Pariksha, it was mentioned that the story of stupid fellows was narrated. Okay, so the same story may not be the narrated, but the same theme or the same purpose, same, but some tale fostering stupidity was narrated. Okay, so this is the difference, that the stories may change, but the purpose does not change. The stories in the story, the character demanded to tell the story of a stupid fellow, a foolish person, and the same story was depicted of a foolish person, but in a different manner. But the purpose remains same, and they also foster the same theme. Okay, so this is the how Pratman Yoga methodology is to depict the story. Then there was a question that untrue statements are not possible in Jain Shastra, because what we narrate is all truth only. Okay, that which fosters a different purpose is called untrue. For example, someone tells a person that you should say so. He did not speak in the same words, but spoke with the same purpose. Therefore, he is not called a liar. If the purpose does not change, then it is still okay. Okay. But if the purpose change, then the purpose, if the purpose change, then it will not be correct. So this is not how the Pratman Yoga depicts. So Pratman Yoga depicts different kinds of stories having different dialogues, different wordings may change, but the purpose does not change, and that makes the stories of Pratman Yoga very relevant and truthful. Okay. Now, next point, 2A, 2B, and 2C. Okay. No, 2A and 2B. There are two only part to it. So now, Aditi, you read further in Pratman Yoga.
Further, in Pratman Yoga, only the prominent things are supported. For example, someone observed fast. Although its fruit was insignificant, but he attained higher state of existence due to his other religious observances simultaneously. Here, such attainment is described to be the result of observance of fast only. In the same way, one should know elsewhere also. And as someone firmly observed the vow of chastity, etc., chanted Namaskar mantra, obeisance to the five supreme souls, and also observed other religious practices, his miseries came to an end and miracles appeared. So, all this is not caused only by such religious practices, but such agreeable events took place due to the rise of some other karma. Nevertheless, such events are described to be fruit of observance of chastity, etc. only. Similarly, someone indulged in some wicked act and obtained hellish birth. So, this is not the result of that wicked act only, but owing to the rise of some other karma, he got birth in the lower state of existence or suffered from miseries. But it is described to be the fruit of that wicked act only. Likewise, one should know the other examples. Here, someone may say, describing such false fruit is not desirable. How can such statement be believed to be authentic? Answer: for the benefit of those ignorant persons who do not take interest in religious practices and are not afraid of wicked acts without showing more fruit of such acts, such descriptions are found. When the fruit of religion be described to be the fruit of sin, the fruit of sin be described to be the fruit of religion, then it is false. But here it is not so. For example, 10 persons jointly do some work. There, if it is described conventionally to be the work of one person only, then it is not wrong. Or somebody's ancestors performed some act. If from one caste point of view it is described conventionally to be the performance of their sons, etc., then there is nothing wrong. Similarly, one event took place as a result of several virtuous and vicious acts. If conventionally it is described to be the result of one virtuous or vicious act, then there is nothing wrong. Or whatever has been the result of some other virtuous or vicious act, if from the similar category point of view, the same is described conventionally to be the result of any other virtuous or vicious act only, then there is nothing wrong. In preaching, statements are made at some places from conventional, that is Vyavhar point of view, and at some places from realistic Nishchay point of view. Here in Pratman Yog, the Upchar superimposed form of Vyavhar practices are described. In this way, it is authentic. But one should not treat this to be correct degree to degree. It should be known that degree to degree description is found in Karuna Niyog. Further, in Prathama Niyog, if someone...
Stop. So we are end at the point number 2. Okay. So in the first, we have seen that in Pratman Yog, the methodology is to depict without changing the purpose. That was the first point. Okay. The stories may change, the dialogues may change, but the purpose does not change. In the second point, it was shown that prominent things are always supported. Okay. So, for example, someone observed fast and something good happened to him. So the story will say that just because he did that good deed, he got this promotion, he got this lottery, he got this, he got that. But actually, it is the fruition of past karma that has brought that result. But we want to encourage to people to get into religion. So we say that if somebody doesn't go to the temple, we tell them that go to the temple and you will prosper in your business. And because of that greed to succeed in business, he started going to the temple. And coincidentally, he progressed in his business. Okay. So then the teacher will tell him that since you went to the temple, you are prospering. Although the prosperity is just because of fruition of past karma. But to get him connected to the religion, these kind of statements are made. Okay. So the prominent thing does not change. Okay. Prominent things are always supported. Similarly, someone observed some rituals like vow of chastity, chanted Namokar mantra, obeisance to 5 supreme souls, and some other religious practices. His miseries came to end and miracles appeared. Okay. So all this is not caused only by such religious practices, but such agreeable events took place due to the rise of some other past karmas. Okay. Nevertheless, such events are described to be the fruit of observance of chastity only. Okay. Why? Because we want to get that person into religion. Okay. So whatever logics he understands, we will give that logic and motivate him to join the religion. Okay. As you do with your kids, suppose someone falls, then what we say? See, that ant has been got killed. So they forget their pain and they look at, with curiosity, they look at the ant, but there is no ant. But that momentary stop, enables that kid to overcome his sorrow. So these are some of the ways described in Pratman Yoga. Pratman Yoga are those people who are not very intellectual, so they understand very little about the scriptures. They get motivated by this kind of stories, and in stories, this kind of motivation is seen every now and then. Okay, but the thing is that the purpose does not change. That is very important. Okay, so this was this. Then there was a question. Describing such false fruit is not desirable. Like the fruit was of the past karmas, and you describe it that just you observe these rituals, you have got these good things in life. So how can such statement be believed to be authentic? So answer, for the benefit of those ignorant persons. Okay. Ignorant persons, just now I gave you an example of kids. So ignorant persons are like kids only. Okay. Who do not take interest in religious practices. So there may be two persons going to the same teacher. Okay. And both of them can get different kinds of advice with same problem. Okay. Todarmalji gave example in this particular chapter only, that if someone goes to a doctor with cold fever, he will be given medicines which are hot in nature. And if somebody gets fever due to hot, okay, due to sunstroke, then he will be given medicines of cold nature. So it depends what kind is the disease. Already, although the disease is same, fever, both have got fever, but the causes are different, so the solutions are different. Okay. So similarly in Pratman Yoga, for the benefit of those ignorant persons who do not take interest in religious practices, are not afraid of sinful activities without showing more fruit of such acts, such descriptions are found. Okay. So there the purpose is not to cheat anybody or not to depict wrong things, but the purpose is to get that person into religion. And for that, whatever is applicable at that point of time, the teachers or the acharyas or the sadhus do explain in that manner. That is the unique style of Pratmanu Yoga. When the fruit of religion be described to be fruit of sin, then that's wrong. Okay. How can a fruit of religion be described as a fruit of sin? And the fruit of sin be described to be the fruit of religion, then it is false. But here it is not so. Okay. For example, 10 persons jointly do some work. There, if it is described conveniently, व्यवहार से, okay, conventionally to be the work of one person only, then it is not wrong. Okay. Why it is not wrong? Because some 10 persons have done the job and you are mentioning one's name. But then also it is okay just to motivate that person. Okay. Or somebody's ancestors performed some act. If from one caste point of view, it is described conventionally to be the performance of their sons, okay, then there is nothing wrong. Okay. Similarly, one event took place as a result of several virtuous and vicious acts. Okay. So whatever is happening in our life right now, it has got connections of our past karmas, both type of karmas. So we have done some punya karmas and we have done some pap karma. Okay. So because of punya karma, some good associations are there in this life. And because of pap karma, some hindrances come in between every now and then. Okay. Then there is, and if it is described to be the result of one virtuous or one vicious act, then there is nothing wrong. After all, it is past karma only, and we motivate the seeker in whatever way it suits him. Okay. So there is nothing wrong in that. Or whatever has been the result of some other virtuous or vicious act, if from the similar category point of view, the same is described, okay, conventionally to be the result of any other virtues or vicious acts only, then there is nothing wrong. Okay. Because the category does not change. The last paragraph, number 0.2, in preachings, statements are made at some place from conventional, vyavhar point of view, vyavhar nahi, and at some places from realistic, nischay nahi point of view. Here in Pratman Yoga, the upchar, superimposed form of vyavhar, conventional practices are described. Okay. In this way, it is authentic. But one should not treat this to be correct degree to degree. Okay, there could be variations. It may not be correct degree to degree, but that is okay. It should be known that degree to degree description is found in Karnan Yoga. So if you want to know the exact description, then it is depicted in Karnan Yoga. But in Pratman Yoga, it is not degree to degree correct, but to some extent, more or less, it is correct. Okay. Now we will discuss the third point. So in 3, we have 4 divisions, 3A, B, C, D. Okay. Then we have 4A, B, C, D. Okay. So 3 also have 4 points, sub-points, and 4 also have sub-points. So first we will discuss the third point. And Shashikalaji, you only read. Further in Pratman Yoga.
Further in Pratman Yoga, if someone is found to be observing one particular conventional form of religious practice, he is said to be the following the religion in 2. For example, those jivas who are found not having any doubt in religion or craving for worldly enjoyments, etc., are said to have attained the right belief, but only by not having doubt, desire, etc., in any one particular religious aspect. The right belief cannot be evolved. The right belief is evolved on developing staunch faith in tattvas. But here, the real right belief has been superimposed in the conventional right belief, and the conventional right belief, thus by upachara, superimposition, the right belief is said to have been evolved. Further, on attaining knowledge of one part, anga, of any Jain Shastra, the right knowledge is said to have been evolved. But on attaining the knowledge of tattvas, devoid of doubt, etc., perversities, the right knowledge is evolved. Here also, the right knowledge is termed as by upachara, that is conventionally, as stated above. Further, if someone observes some poised conduct, he is said to have attained the right conduct. And if one has accepted Jaina religion and practices some vow in similar or greater measure, he is called a Shravaka, a true believer, householder, observing small vows or partial conduct. In reality, on attainment of 5th Gunasthan, spiritual stage only, one is called a Shravaka. But in the opposite manner, conventionally by Upachara, is called a Shravaka. In the Shastra, Uttar Purana, the king of Shenika is termed a supreme Shravaka, though he was a holeless, incontinent householder. But because he was a Jaina, so he is described so. Likewise, one should know elsewhere. Further, one who accepts Munilinga, that is, possessionless, naked monk state, without right belief, and even if externally is found with some blemish, he is still called a Muni, that is, mink. Although monk, that is print mistake, monk. Although one attainment of 6th Gunasthana, etc., one becomes a Muni, but in the opposite manner, conventionally, by Upachara, he, the monk with the blemishes, is called a Muni. In Samasarana Sabha, that is omniscience preaching arena, the presence of particular number of monks is stated in the Shastra, but all of them were not the true Bhavalingi Munis, true special monks with the right belief. But because of acceptance of external Jain monks' posture, all are termed as monks, Munis. Similarly, one should know elsewhere.
Stop. So you see, if a person observes only one aspect of the religion, but he is considered or he is being said as observing in totality. Okay. That is the way the Pratman Yoga encourages people. Okay. So the example given that those jivas who are found not having any doubt in religion or craving for worldly enjoyments are said to have attained the right belief. But only by not having doubt or desire, etc., in any one particular religious aspect, the right belief cannot be evolved. Okay. But it is still said that he is the right believer. Okay. The right belief is evolved on developing staunch faith in tattvas. But here, the real right belief has been superimposed. Okay, it is not in reality, but it has been superimposed, upchar, in the conventional right belief. And the conventional right belief in toto has been superimposed in any one aspect of conventional right belief. Thus, by upchar, superimposition, the right belief is said to have been evolved. Although the right belief is not evolved, only one aspect of the religion he is observing or practicing, okay? But still he is considered a right believer just to appreciate and motivate him so that others also follow the same direction. So that is the style of depicting in Pratman Yoga, okay? Further, on attaining one part, okay, partial of any Jain Shastra, the right knowledge is said to have been evolved. Whereas in reality, the right knowledge is only evolved when you get rid of doubt, perversities, and indecision. Okay, these three are the blemishes in the knowledge, and that makes the knowledge wrong knowledge. So if these three are removed, it is called right knowledge. But even if we manifest one of the parts of that right knowledge, it is said that he has evolved right knowledge. Although in reality, he may be in the right direction, but he has not evolved the right knowledge. Okay. So it is said conventionally or by upchar. 3C. Further, if someone observes some pious conduct, okay, good activity, he is said to be attend the right conduct. Okay. Only one of the activities is right, and that is not the total conduct that he is observing, but it is still said that he has attained right conduct. If one has accepted Jaina religion and practices some woe in smaller or greater measure, okay, he is called a Shravak. Only by going to the temple he is called a Shravak. Actually, the Shravak is in the 5th stage of spiritual development. Okay, he is already an enlightened soul. And then with further practice of discriminative knowledge, he has attained the 5th stage. But the fellow is just started going to Mandir and he is considered a Shravak, householder. Okay. So this is the way Pratman Yoga depicts, motivational style of depicting. He is called as a true believer householder observing small woes or partial conduct. In reality, on attainment of 5th Gunasthan, spiritual stage only, one is called a Shravak. But in the aforesaid manner, conventionally by Upchar, he is called a Shravak. In the Shastra Uttar Puran, the king Shrenik is termed as Supreme Shravak, though he was a woeless incontinent. Incontinent means asanyat. Okay, not observing sanyam, not observing abstinence. Okay, so he was a woeless incontinent householder, but because he was Jain, so he is described as a Shravak, Uttam Shravak. Likewise, one should know elsewhere. Okay, so Pratman Yoga says story in such a manner that the people do get motivated, and although were not observing fully, but now with this uh, with praising of that person, which motivates him to praise it in totality. Okay, so the idea is to motivate him and not to tell the lies. Okay, the last one in the third part. Further, one who accepts Mulining, possessionless, naked monk state. So naked is spelling is wrong. C would be not there. Naked. Okay. Further, one who accepts Mulilinga, where you are, Aditi? We are into 389, just below. Bring it down slide. Further, one who accepts Muniling, possessionless, okay, possessionless, naked monk state without right belief, okay. So to be a bhaulingi, you have to have the right belief, okay, and the corresponding level of passion should also be eliminated, okay. Then you are called a true bhaulingi Muniraj, okay. But this is a Dravyalingi Muniraj and is without right belief, and even externally is found with some blemish, he is still called a Muni. It's just a motivational kind of thing. Although on attainment of 6 stages of spiritual development, one becomes a Muni. But in the aforesaid manner, conventionally by Upchar, he, the monk with blemishes, is called a Muni. In Samosaran Sabha, omniscience preaching area, holy assembly, okay, the presence of a particular number of monks is stated. Okay, so much of quantity of Muniraj present in the Samosaran. But all of them were not true Bhavlingi Munis, true spiritual monks with right belief. But because of acceptance of external Jain monks' posture, all are termed as monks, Munis. Similarly, one should know elsewhere. Okay. So even one partial part is manifested, we consider it in totality. That is the style of depicting Pratman Yoga. They want to motivate people to, as many people can join, they wanted to join them. Okay. Now the last point, 4A, B, C, D. 4 point, and they have further 4 divisions. So that is the last point on Pratman Yoga. Then we will move on to Karna No Yoga. Okay. So Aditi ji, you read.
Further, in Prathman Yoga, if someone indulges in some undesirable act with religious attitude, even then he is praised. For instance, Vishnu Kumar, a Jain monk possessed with supernatural power, removed the affliction of the other monks with religious attitude. But it was not desirable to indulge in this act by forsaking the status of a monk, because such an act is possible in a householder's conduct only, and the monk's conduct is higher than the householder's conduct. Therefore, it is not praiseworthy to keep lower religious status by giving up higher religious status. But monk Vishnu Kumarji has been praised due to the prominence of Vatsalya Anga, that is, affectionate feelings towards the co-religionists. Under the pretext, it is not desirable for others to accept lower religious status by giving up higher status. Further, it is described that a cowherd created a hot atmosphere around a Jain monk by burning fire. He did so out of compassion. One should surely remove the upsarga caused externally by others, but removing the natural parishahat, disagreeable condition of cold, etc., is the cause of arousing liking passion in the monk, and the monk should not indulge in liking passions. Therefore, such an act causes affliction instead of removing it. That is why the judicious persons do not make effort for removing cold. The cowherd was an ignorant person. He did so out of compassion. Therefore, he is praised. But under this pretext, it is not desirable for others to indulge in such acts which are contrary to the religious practice. Further, the king Vajrakarna did not salute the king Simhodara and kept the idol of Jinnah carved in the ring. Even the great true believers salute the kings, etc. There is no fault in it, but disrespect is caused in keeping the idol in the ring, because no such adorable idol is possible as per set norms. Therefore, this act is faulty. But he was not aware of this. Out of religious affection, he developed a feeling, I will not salute anybody else. Therefore, he is praised. But under this pretext, it is not desirable for others to indulge in such acts. Further, for the sake of getting a son, etc., or mitigating diseases and other calamities, etc., some people built temples, chaityalayas, and worshipped Jinnah's idols, chanted hymns, and recited Namaskar mantra, etc. But such practices destroy the Nihakanshita gun, that is the virtue of desirelessness, and amount to indulgence in Nidanbandha, type sorrowful concentration. Because of inner inauspicious purpose, it causes the bondage of inauspicious karmas only. But even being deluded, he did not worship false deities, etc., which are the cause of enormous and intense bondage of pap karmas. Considering this aspect, he has been praised. Under this pretext, it is not desirable for others to adopt religious practices for temporal gains. Likewise, one should know elsewhere also. Thus, there are found many such descriptions in Pratmanayog. Knowing their real sense, one should not get deluded.
Hmm.
Method.
Stop. So this is the end of the fourth point, and it is the end of the methodology of exposition of Pratman Yoga. Okay. So you see that Vishnu Kumar was praised because of his uh, feeling towards co-religionist. Okay. But leaving the post of a monk and becoming a householder is not advisable. Okay. But still, uh, he was praised. So he was praised just because of his feeling towards, affectionate feeling towards co-religionist. Okay. So under this pretext, it is not desirable for others to accept lower religious status by giving up higher status. So Pratman Yug will appreciate, but don't go for the appreciation, because it is not to be appreciated if you leave a higher post and come to a lower post. Okay. So that we should keep in mind. So from what perspective it is being said? So in Pratman Yug, this kind of methodology is adopted. Okay. So we have to be very careful, not only copying this, but also identifying the real truth behind each such activity. The second example was about a Gwala, cowherd, who created a hot atmosphere around a Jain monk by burning fire. Okay. And in another case, one ignorant person, it was winter and similar kind of situation. It was cold winter. And what he did, he brought a blanket and put it on the monk. Okay. So that was a affliction on monk. But that Gwala intention was not to do that. His intention was to, uh, he was doing that because of his respect to the Muniraj. Okay. So, but this kind of act is not, it is not to be adopted by others. Okay. Because on the contrary, he is doing a affliction on the monk. Okay. He's not helping the monk, but he is causing an affliction on the monk. Okay. That is why the judicious person do not make effort for removing cold. Okay. So an enlightened person, a person who has got a good knowledge of the text, they don't do such things to Muniraj, because they know that if I support him in this manner, then it will be an affliction for him and not a help. Okay. So they don't do it. The coward was an ignorant person. He did it. He did so out of compassion, karuna. Okay. Therefore, he is praised. So Pratmanyog do praise such personality, but having said that, we should not adopt it believing that whatever we are doing is good. Okay. But under this text, it is not desirable for others to indulge in such acts which are contrary to religious practice. Third story is about Vajrakaran, example of Vajrakaran. Okay. He did not salute the king Simodara, and the king told him to bow to him. So he doesn't wanted to bow him. So what he did, he applied a trick. He kept the idol of Jina carved in the ring. Okay. And then he bowed to that ring. And that king thought that he is bowing to me. Okay. So even the great true believers salute the kings, etc. There is no fault in it. But disrespect is caused in keeping the idol in the ring, because no such adorable idol is possible as per set norms. Okay. So the idol should uh, be one officially, what we call, officially with the rituals of mantra and all, it is officially what we call initiated into image of the Tirthankar, okay? But that was not done in the ring, so it is not supposed to be practiced by others, but he was appreciated because of his uh, intent not to salute anybody else than the god, okay? And the king was forcing him to bow to him, so he doesn't want to bow, and for that he played this trick, okay? Therefore he was praised, but under this pretext it is not desirable for others to indulge in such acts, okay? So Pratmanyug do depicts this kind of stories, and we have to really read it properly to comprehend the true meaning. Okay. The fourth one, further, for the sake of getting a son or mitigating disease and other calamities, for getting good association in life, people do pray to the God. But our God are passionless. So how can a passionless God help a devotee? Okay, that is false. But since he did not went to any other god's temple like Ganpati, Durga Mata, Kali Mata, okay, he was praised from that perspective, that he still believed in Jainism. He never left Jainism, okay. So from that perspective, he was appreciated. But such practice destroy the Nikangshit gun, the virtue of desirelessness, okay, and amount to indulgence in Nidan Bandh type sorrowful concentration, okay, because of inner inauspicious purposes, because the purpose is to get the son, to cure the disease. You are going to God to for that, so the purpose is not good, inauspicious purpose. It causes the bondage of inauspicious karma only. But even being deluded, he did not worship false deities. Okay. He never went to the Ganpati or the Durga Mata or Kali Mata. Okay. He did not worship false deities, etc., which are the cause of innermost and intense bondage. Okay. Innermost and intense bondage of pap karmas. Considering this aspect, he has been praised. Under this pretext, it is not desirable for others to adopt religious practices for temporal gains. Okay. Likewise, one should know elsewhere also. Thus, there are found many such descriptions in Pratmanyog. Knowing their real sense, one should not get deluded. Okay. So you should have a correct belief and you should not get into delusion of any kind from the stories of Pratmanu Yoga, because this is the methodology how a Pratmanu Yoga operates. And if you know the methodology, you won't mind, you know. So this is how it is. Now we move on to the next exposition, that is methodology of exposition of Karnanu Yoga. Okay. Here again, there are continuous points. There are around 6 points. Okay. So the first paragraph is first point. Then the second paragraph, the next page. Although the spatiality, time, qualities, that is second point. The next paragraph, further many statements given, is third point. Then fourth point, 4a, 4b, 4c, 4d. Okay. Further in Karnan Yoga, the description is not done. That is 4a. Further, some jiva is found indulging, 4b. Further, the activity of mind, speech, 4c. Further, that which is not seen apparently, 4d. Then in the next page, further the Karna Yoga describes, that is fifth point. Then leaving one paragraph, and in Karna Yoga also, that is 6a. Then the next paragraph, in the next page, 6b. And if somewhere general statements are found, then the next paragraph, 6c. And somewhere the exposition is found from the predominance point of view. So that is 6c, and there we end Karnan Yoga. So we will be reading one point by one point and I will be explaining it. And let's see how far we can go. We still have around 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes left.
Shall I continue?
Yeah.
Methodology of exposition of Karnana Yoga. Now the style of exposition in Karnana Yoga is being described. The description found in Karnana Yoga is known in omniscience. Correct. Though all is known in omniscience, yet only that which is useful to Jiva. Example, the relationship of Jiva and karmas, etc., and cosmology, universe, etc., are described here in this Anyoga. Even in all details of them cannot be described. Therefore, whatever could be possibly described in words and could be known and perceived in non-omniscience knowledge is described in an abridged form. For example, Gunasthans, spiritual stages, are described from the point of view of instincts and the disposition of the jivas. Those dispositions being infinite cannot be described through words. Therefore, by combining many dispositions into one category, 14 gunasthans are specified. And there are various ways of knowing the jivas, but only main 14 marganas, search places are specified. Although karmic matter, atoms possess infinite potency, yet in them, by combining many atoms into one category, the 8 types of main prakritis, karmas, and 148 subdivisions of them are described. And in the universe, 3 worlds, many objects are found, but here in some of main objects with their details are described. And pramana, measure, praman, it's of infinite kinds, the sankyat, numerable, etc. The 3 main divisions and further 21 divisions are specified. In same way, one should know elsewhere.
Stop.
Although,
Stop.
okay.
So the first point. So basically in Karnana Yoga, what has been described is seen by the omniscient being. Okay. So it is very subtle. It is not possible to understand from our sensory and scriptural knowledge. We have sensory and scriptural knowledge, and the description given in Karnana Yoga are according to omniscience knowledge. Okay. Though everything, the omniscience knows everything, yet only which is useful to Jeev. Example, the relationship of Jeev karmas and cosmology. Okay. Kal Chakra. All these are described here in this Anuyog. Okay. Even all details of them cannot be described because there are so many minute details. Okay. Therefore, whatever could be possibly described in words, okay, and could be known and perceived in a non-omniscient knowledge. Now, who is a non-omniscient knowledge? So, people from the first stage of spiritual development to the 12th stage are all non-omniscient. Chadmast. Non-omniscient, okay? So, even all details of them cannot be described. Therefore, whatever could be possibly described in words and could be known and perceived in non-omniscient knowledge is described in an abridged form. Okay. For example, Gunasthan. So there are 14 Gunasthan. Now each Gunasthan has got many variations. Okay. So they have not given infinite Gunasthan, but they have taken many souls of similar nature into one category and named it as first Gunasthan, second Gunasthan, fourth Gunasthan, fifth Gunasthan. Okay. So he has covered all these types of jivas into 14 broad categories. These are very broad categories. One person who is in the initial phase of first Gunasthan, and another person who is just on the verge of jumping from 1 to 4th, okay, there is a hell and heaven difference between the two, but both are belonging to the first stage only, okay. So these kind of details cannot be described. So there are given simple broad divisions, okay, of each gunasthan. Similarly, about 14 Marganasthan quest places are specified, okay. So the main quest places are specified, okay. Then, although karmic matter atoms possesses infinite potential, yet in them, by combining many atoms into one category, the 8 types of main prakritis, karmas, 8 main subdivisions are described. And their subdivision is 148, okay? That has been described. So there are infinite potential of each karma, but broadly 8 major karmas are described and their subdivisions are described. And in the universe, 3 worlds, many objects are found, but herein some of the main objects with their details are described. So this is the style of Karnan Yoga. It depicts in such a manner, okay. And Praman, measures, okay, measures is of infinite kinds, okay. The Sankhya, the numerable, etc. 3 main divisions. So what are these 3 main divisions, Sasikala ji? Sankhya,
Sankyat,
Asankhya,
Sankyat and I don't know in Hindi.
Anant.
Anant. Sankyat Anant.
So
Sir,
Sankhya is numerable.
numeral Sankyat
Asankhya is
Sankyat is
innumerable.
infinite.
And the Anant is infinite.
Infinite.
Okay.
Also, the 3 samshaya, the 3 doubts also I want to know in Hindi. I forgot it.
In Hindi,
Previous page it came, no? Shankaya.
Sansai, Vipari, Anadhyavasai.
Yes, Ananta, yes. Thank you, sir.
So Sansai is doubt.
Yeah, it came, no?
Vidya
Last
is
page.
perversities.
Perversity, yeah.
And Anadhyavasai is indecision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
and Praman, the measure is of infinite kind. The Sankhya, etc., 3 main divisions and further 21 divisions of these are specified. Okay. So this is the first point in the methodology of Karnan Yoga. Okay. So Karnan Yoga describes everything as known by the omniscient being. But everything is not described in the texture. Only those things is described which a soul can understand. Okay. That only is explained here. Okay. The next one, second point. Aditi, you can read.
If otherwise, shall I continue? Just ask her.
If she
Yes,
is
sir.
reading, then fine. Otherwise, you continue.
Are
you there?
Yeah, actually, my internet is not stable.
Anyway, shall I continue, Aditi ji?
That's why you stopped sharing, right?
No, I got disconnected, so I rejoined.
No,
So
I'm having that
post.
print. I can read. I'm having the print.
Okay. You read, Sashikala.
I am having the print. Although the speciality time, quality.
Spatiality.
Sorry.
Spatiality.
Spatiality. Space. Sorry. Correct. Very good. Sorry, sir. Although the spatiality, time, qualities, modes, etc. of the substance are indivisible, nevertheless, with the object that the non-omniscient may also attain some knowledge of the substances. In Karnan Yoga, time, that is unit, samaya.
No, you left one line. By imagining.
Oh. Sir, it's not available in this print. Maybe I've taken some other. I read it, imagining.
In Karnan Yoga, by imagining the divisions like spatial units, Pradesh, time units, Samay.
Oh, so many are left. Okay. Samay units measuring the degrees of quality manifested. Avibhaga Pradat Chetas. Or described. One should one and the same substance is described making.
Again, you have missed one line. And their Praman quantity.
Sir, I'll read it. Maybe, sir. In this print, it is not available. Maybe I've taken some other download. That's why I asked you where to get the download.
So you should not take some other download.
Yeah, that's the thing.
When
So
we are sharing in the group, at that time you should take a printout or you should.
no, I'm having that Google here, given the drive, no, I've taken the other parts. Yeah, even Aditya reading also I missed. I'll take again the prints outs. Okay, sir.
No, don't take it. Just call me once when you are. We will just check it out here, and if one line here and there, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, while read Aditya
But it
reading
is
also, I
only
was
one line here
listening.
and there. I can read it if you want, and I can also share it.
Yes, dear,
Just
you
make me
share
the
it.
host
Those
again.
things.
So you share it, so you read.
Yeah, you share it, Aditya.
Yeah,
So
just
I'll make
make
the
me
addition.
host. Just make me the host again, and I can read also.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, while Aditi ji reading also, I was wondering somewhere is I missed in it. Then only now after you told no, then only I'm observing that.
I think it will be. This is the second edition, so you must have done the first edition one, and they might have done some corrections in between.
Yes, sir. Some yeah, so many I have to. No, although I'll read from the beginning. Although the speciality.
You want me to read so that you can check in your book and add?
Yeah. Carry on, dear.
Okay, so I'll just quickly read. Although the
No.
speciality, time, quality
Spatiality, space.
Yeah, spatiality. Time qualities of the substances are indivisible. Nevertheless, with the object that the non-omniscient may also attain some knowledge of the substances in Karananyog by imagining the divisions of spatial units, pradeshas, time units, samay, units measuring the degrees of quality manifested, avibhag pratichedas, etc., and their praman, quantity or numerical measurement, are described. And one and the same substance is described by making divisions of different guns and paryas. Although the jiva, soul, and the pudgals, matter, etc., are separate substances, nevertheless, through the instrumentality of relationship, bondage, etc., the gati, the state of of existence produced out of many substances, the jati, the category, etc., divisions are described to be of one jiv only. All this exposition should be known to be with the prominence of conventional standpoint, that is the Vyavharnai, because details and specialities cannot be understood without Vyavhar. And at some places, the description is found from Nishchay point of view also, standpoint also. For example, Praman, numerical measures of jivs, substances are of jeeves, etc. substances are described. The separate substances are that much only. One should know that the same appropriately.
Stop. So the spatiality, time, qualities, dravya, shakra, kal, bhav, etc. of the substance are indivisible. Okay. So just to explain, we have used these divisions to make you understand. Okay. That was the purpose. Nevertheless, with the object that the non-omniscient, okay, chadmast, may also attain some knowledge on the substance, and for that reason only in Karnan Yoga, by imagining the divisions like spatial units, pradesha, time unit, unit measuring the degrees of quality manifested, and their praman measurement are described. Okay, this has been described just to make you aware about the knowledge of the substance. Okay, there is no other purpose. Actually, if you want to experience your soul, then you have to take it as indivisible. Okay, because when we divide certain things, it becomes conventional. Okay, and if it is indivisible, it is real point of view. Okay, but the acharyas had this compulsion to describe it to a ignorant being, so he used to have he has to use conventional point of view every now and then. In total Jinwani, if you see, 99% of the statements are from conventional point of view. Why? Because there is only one purpose, to explain the ignorant being. And in whatever language they understand, that has same been described. And one and the same substance is described by making different divisions of different gunas, attributes, and paryas modification. Although the Jeev and Pudgals are separate substance, nevertheless, through the instrumentality of relationship, ek Kshetravaga Sambandh, the Gati, state of existence produced out of many substances, the Jati, the category, 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, all these are category. And state of existence is like human, subhuman, hell, heaven, all these are state of existence, okay? Are described to be of one Jeev only. All this exposition should be known to be with the prominence of conventional standpoint, Vyavhar Nyay, because details and specialities cannot be understood without Vyavhar, conventional division. And at some places, the description is found from Nischay standpoint also. Okay. For example, Praman, numerical measures of Jivas, etc. Jivas, etc. means 6 substances. Jeev, matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, space, time, okay, are described. The separate substances are that much only. One should know the same appropriately, okay. So, many a places there are statements from conventional point of view, and many a place there will be statements from real point of view. So you have to understand each in the correct perspective, okay, to arrive at a conclusion and the correct knowledge, okay. So this was about the second point on Karnanuyog, okay. So today the time is almost over. So what we can do is we will continue from the third point tomorrow. Okay. So we will continue from third point of Karnanuyog tomorrow, page number 392. Any questions for on today's session? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So we will close for today. निज निधि निज ने बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है. 9 times नमोकार मंत्र.